Thanks to Jeff for taking the time to prepare that generous intro. Again, a special thanks to Rennie, the Hall of Fame committee, and congratulations to all the other inductees. I'd like to take the time to introduce a couple North Country tables to you. Table 17, right there. My adult children, Brennan, Elliot, Hayden, my sister Wendy, and her husband Eddie, Kelsey, Keegan, Michael, and Andrea. Table number 2, located way in the back. Some of the greatest guys that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. I've got friends in that table, assistant coaches, former players, and just incredibly great friends. And I appreciate you guys for coming down today. Thank you very much. I've had several opportunities to speak in public through the years, but that's usually to honor my teams, players, teammates. This is totally different for me to get up here and talk about myself, but I'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. I'd like to mention 3 people that are not able to be here. They're no longer with us. My mom and dad, unbelievably supportive to me. They'd be so proud to be sitting here if they could this evening. My late wife, Erin, who we lost in March of 2021, I can only describe her as being fiercely loyal to me through the years as a basketball coach. And my family will understand this. I always tried to get Erin to take the high road during games when she was there in the bleachers with people that were out coaching me. Occasionally, she would tell me the things that I wanted to hear, and more times than not, she told me the things that I needed to hear. I'm not up here because of my playing days. That's pretty obvious. It has a lot to do with coaching, but I will say that the playing experience was so rewarding to me and gave me the tools that I needed to be an effective coach. Being passionate, expecting things from your players, while at the same time being sensitive to them so that they knew that you really cared about them. I learned that from Ray Holmes, a North Country legend, Jeff's dad, Jeff and Steve's dad. Steve's over there as well. And as Jeff had mentioned, Bob McVeigh at RIT. In preparing for tonight, I asked myself this question. What stands out to me in 32 years as a head coach? How would I define success? And this is in no actual order. Winning. We all want to win. Winning is incredible. It just makes you feel really, really good that all your hard work was worth it after that game that you won. But it's really important that you do it for the right reasons. Great seasons and championships. Very special. The players will never forget them. And a pet peeve of mine, sportsmanship. Basically, sportsmanship is respect. Winning and losing with class, being able to teach your players the difference between being street tough and athlete tough. I recruited a lot of kids from New York City when I was at Clinton, and we would run into these issues every year. So what I would do is take out the dry erase and draw a line down the middle. On one side, I would have street tough. On the other side, I'd have athlete tough. And we'd go around the room getting examples of, what was what, and talk about them, and it was always very, very effective for us. The last thing about sportsmanship, the handshake line. I mean, this is a tradition that's gone on forever, and the way things are going right now, some schools are thinking about changing it. I know in Region 3, which Clinton was a member when I was coaching for 15 years, there were a couple incidents from time to time. So I would go on the road with my team and we'd go into a school and the coach would come over or the site person and say, Coach, we don't shake hands at the end of the game anymore. And I was like, why is that? He said, well, we had an incident. And I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you want to just take your team and sit your team down and say, this is the way it happens? This is about respect. You get beat, you go through that line, you shake hands, and you give them their due. And at the same time, when you win, you go through that line and you keep your head up, and you don't play games. You shake hands like a man. And that's the way it should be. I'm gonna finish this up. I had a player that sent me, I mean, everybody that's coached in this room understands how wonderful it is when you have a former player contact you. I'm going to read a message that I got from a player probably about 8 years ago. And I never had a good read on this guy. I wasn't really sure, you know, if I was getting through to him or if it had an effect on him at the time. I was a really good athlete. And I received this a couple of years ago, and this message is from 30 years ago when he played for me. The message, obviously, 10 years ago. Coach, I don't know if you remember me, but I played for you in 1989 and 1990. I just want to tell you that you made me the man I am today. I didn't have a father in my life, and growing up, and my mother was not there for us either. It's because of great coaches and men like you that gives kids like me a chance in life. I'm a high-ranking law enforcement officer now in a large city with a degree, and all I can say is thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, that is a definition of coaching success. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of this wonderful evening.